Everybody's the Digital World Podcast. And there's two things I want to talk about. First being COP26, because while the whole world is looking at this and thinking how great of a benefit this is going to be, I'm honestly concerned, and I'm actually thinking the opposite. For example, this nation prides itself for being freedom of liberty, freedom of speech, freedom of press, freedom of religion, freedom of assembly, freedom everything, right? Now, if you look throughout history, when has the how do I say this? When has the connection or the merge of church and state ever been a good thing? And the reason I'm saying this is because it seems like that's the way it's going. And this is why I think it is. Who did President Biden meet with today at the Vatican? The Pope. And he's had several meetings with him, but this being the first as him being the president. And we know he's the second Catholic president of the U.S. And we know that the Supreme Court has a lot of Catholic judges. Now, that's nothing to say against the religion or Catholicism. But when you start to see state and church start meeting in private and start having these talks, right? You know, the Pope visited in 2015. We know Nancy Pelosi recently also met with the Pope. What's going on with all these politicians all of a sudden having private meetings with a religious entity? And prior to COP26, these politicians were having these meetings. Are they getting information? Are they getting some, agenda? What's going on? And as you see COP26 being talked about and highly touted as the most important international event of the past few years, and it's going to set the plan for climate change for the future. And as you see these nations come together and try to agree on what to do, you realize that this is a global matter. This is getting everyone in unison, getting everyone to become of one accord. And some people might look at that as a good thing, but you realize that what's at stake is the freedoms that you obtain from this country that have been so hard fought, and the lives that have been shed in order to obtain that freedom. And this is what concerns me. It's nothing about Catholicism, no, but it's about church and state coming together and merging together. No point in history has that ever led to something good. And if you want to debate this, go look at what happened during the medieval times. I'm pointing this out because I am concerned and how this COP26 climate summit is going to be used as a means to get everyone in the world on the same page. And you may not see it that way, but you have to look beyond just the surface. And you have to start questioning why all these politicians all of a sudden are meeting with religious entities and private meetings. What's so private that can't be disclosed, folks? And in addition to that, the crises, it's not I'm telling you, it's going to go from one thing to the next. It's going to go from this pandemic to climate change. And you can see it happening right before your eyes. And these crises are only adding to the whole narrative of how they want to blame capitalism. But it's not capitalism that's causing the issue. No. People would not have what they have now if it weren't for capitalism. And the fact that they're trying to end capitalism thinking that it's going to give them a better lifestyle, no. And just to point out something about this crisis, and I'll probably go over this tomorrow just to get more details in it, is starting November 1st, the ports of LA and Long Beach will charge $100 per container for boxes dwelling 9 or more days. The fee will increase $100 a day. Yeah, you heard that right. A day. And by day 30, charge reaches $46,500 per container. Now, if that doesn't paint the picture to you of how those costs will now be passed along to the shippers, and those fees to the shippers will then be passed along to the consumers. If that doesn't click in your head about the crisis that we're in, I don't know what will. But you're about to see the price of things explode. I hope this episode has brought you some value. Like and subscribe if you like this content, if you want to get more of this information to stay up to date and have me talk about this. Hopefully, once I get a schedule going, get a live stream, maybe once or twice a week, but not every day, and have an interaction with you guys. Maybe Sundays would work best for everyone. But yeah, folks, this is important. And tomorrow I'll probably go over this article more in depth. So it's the Digital World Podcast, and I'll see you in the next episode.